Yo, what's good, YouTube? Y'all know me. It's your boy, MacDZ. And that's right. Today, it's on. It's battle time! Oh, yeah. And today we got that new joint. We got the Sony XB23 in the house. And we're going to run it up against the JBL Flip 5 today. So we do have some others in the background. So if you guys want to see something like maybe that UE Boom over here, maybe that Anchor that's down over here, the Icon Plus, we got the DOS Go. I mean, we got a few others in the house too. So you guys go ahead down below in the comment section and let me know. And hey, while you're down there, don't forget, subscribe, and bell it. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about what we got going on here. Normally what I would do is go ahead for that battle time and go ahead and bring out the last two winners and battle them up. And yeah, they are JBL and Sony. That's right, y'all. We got that JBL Extreme 2 versus the Sony XB41 coming up soon. So you guys keep a lookout for that one. But today we got their very much smaller brothers in the house. All right, so we're going to go over some of these specs that we got going on, and briefly, real briefly, so we can try to keep this video short, y'all. And then we're going to go ahead with my 5 categories for that battle. All right, so first, let's get into those specs though. First up, we're going to talk about the Sony here. If you'll notice, this one is just standing on the table while the Flip 5 is actually on a stand here, a little bit of a stand, just so I can get them to be in the frame together, because the dimensions on the Sony is 4.06 by 4.06 by 9.09 inches. Okay, so yeah. Giggity. And it comes in weighing at 1.64 pounds. The Bluetooth on this connectivity joint is 5.0, which is great. Okay, that's cool. And your frequency range is from 20 hertz all the way down to those 20,000 hertz. So you got the usual range, giving you some bass, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. It's compatible with a whole bunch of different codecs and whatnot in different ways, methodologies and different formats. So what I will do is go ahead and put the specs for that right here. All right, you guys will check that out right there. And the output, it says input and output is Type C on this. So I got to check the input still. I'm sorry, the output still, if it can charge up your device. So we'll do that maybe, and I'll pin the comments at the top right there. All right, so the battery, no details. Couldn't find where they gave you an actual milliamp hour on this, but you do get 12 hours of playtime, they say, and it does come in 5 colors so far. They may have some more, but let's go ahead and switch it over to that JBL joint over here. We got the dimensions at 7.1 inch by 2.7 by 2.9, so almost 2 inches shorter, giggity, as well as almost half the diameter there. But you know, it still is a banger, and we'll show you that in a minute. The weight on this is 1.19 pounds. The Bluetooth connectivity on this bad boy is 4.2. So a little bit outdated as far as that's concerned, especially for the fact that this came out, I want to say within the last 6 months. It may have even just come out this year in 2020. I gotta make sure about that. The output on this though, it did give you that is 20 watts. That's great. Your battery is 4,800 milliamp hours with 12 hours of playtime, and it does come in 12 colors. So let's go ahead and jump into those 5 categories that we got going on here. First, we're going to go with that cost. Okay, so the cost on both of these is just under $100. So the Sony is $99.99, while the JBL is $99.95. So, you know, them 4 pennies, like Snoop Dogg said in 95, add that shit up. It does take a toll if you are counting them pennies, especially during what's going on right now out there. So keep that in mind. Next, there's also, just so that you guys are aware, some renewables on the JBL. I saw that on Amazon. Right now you can get a renewed joint for $72.95. I have started to see some cool coupons out there too for the Sony, like 20 bucks as well. So you may be able to find it for like $79.99 in different places. Don't quote me on that, guys, but go ahead and search. You never know. So that's not bad, but according to what I was able to locate, especially on their website as well as Amazon, the winner of this first category, that cost, is going to be JBL. Next up is that look. Okay, so that is very difficult now because as you guys can see, with the base tube for your passive radiators on both of these are basically the same look. You know what I mean? JBL's does come with some company branding on theirs. If that's what you're into, that's cool. Sony does not. They have more of a pattern. You guys can see that. So, I mean, really, is it that weight? Is it the what? We don't know. But for me personally, I would say, you know, I can't tell you what it is for you. But for me, on the look, the fact that it's something a little bit smaller, easy to carry in the hand. I know, ladies, but I'm gonna go with JBL in this one right now. Nah, I'm gonna go with Sony. I'll tell you why. Sony is newer. Since you got the same exact look and the Sony one is a little bit newer, I'm gonna go with the Sony one, okay guys? Next up, we're gonna go with that sound. And you all know what we gotta do when it comes to that sound. That means we gotta do a sound test. So let's go ahead real quick and see if we can't find a way to connect these bad boys up. I think we got some charges going on here. Let's see, what are you connected to?
Bluetooth connected.
All right, Bluetooth is connected. Are you connected to my cell phone or my tablet? My cell phone today. Okay, so let's go with that. The cell phone, we're gonna pull that bad boy out. Now, of course, what we have to do is this, y'all. We can't go what we wanna do, which is just play whatever. We actually have to go with the non-copyright sound. And so that means that we have to go with Anecdote. And we're pulling that out right now. Giggity again. There we go. And we're going to go with Anecdotes, no copyright sound, turn it up. So from there, well, what we're going to do is also go ahead and run our trusty decibel meter. Got it right up against the corner here. All right. All right. If you guys can see that, 99.8. Okay, so that's not too shabby. That 99.8 is not too shabby. It's actually a little bit louder than I thought it was going to be. So we're going to turn this one off for now. Leave that one off. Yep. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and rock this JBL. Let's go ahead, turn you around a little bit. Boom. Okay. Now, what are you connected to? That is the question. Let's see here. I believe you are connected to something other than these two devices. So let's go ahead and see if we can find you in our connected devices here. Where are you? There's so many damn devices here. It is crazy, y'all. It is crazy. So let's go ahead and just make sure. Are you connected here? No. Oop. Dope. You know, it wouldn't be a Mac video if I didn't knock something over. You know? So let's go ahead and put you into your pairing mode real quick. There we go. See if we can't get you connected here. You know, we got to take a look back up top, see if it made it all the way to the top yet. A lot of JBLs in there. I must have a lot of JBLs, y'all. We may have a few. We may have a few, though. All right, there you are. There you go. So let's go back, run it back to the no copyright sound. We're going to go with anecdote. Y'all, we're going to clear off the decibel meter, put that back to the max. There we go. And here we go. Okay, 101.2. Now, for most of it, it was like 100. And so I was like, okay, so 1 decibel is not that big. So actually, we got about 2 decibel meters higher, 2 decibels. There we go, higher on the JBL than the Sony. So of course, right off the bat, when it comes to the numbers, the JBL is going to win that. It was closer though than I thought. But here's the real difference that I don't think actually might be translated by the video. I don't know if it's maybe because of the IP67 rating, that the Sony sounds more encased, more enclosed, more enveloped. It's just not popping like that JBL is. That JBL is so forefront when it comes to the way the sound comes at you. Whereas on the Sony, it's just a little bit, it just sounds encased. Anybody else who has this speaker, let me know what you think down below. Right down there. Do you guys feel the same way, that it just sounds a little encased or enveloped? Maybe it's just me, you know, but I just find, or maybe it's the one I got, who knows? But it's definitely coming across that way to me whenever I have it right next to another speaker. Anyways, let's move on to that next thing, which is those intangibles. So some of the things that they have similar, we got Type-C charging on deck for both. We got an app for both, which, by the way, if you do have the app for Sony from previous Sonys, you are going to need to update it. And because there are some new features that technically they've added, but really just looks the same to me. But you will need to update it. Next up, they both come with lanyards. The difference here, the lanyard that comes with Sony's is a little bit more of like, it has a hook on the lanyard as well, so you can like hook it onto things if you have something already, you know, out there for it. It also does come with, let's see, really the only difference that I'm seeing right now is the 5.0 on the Sony versus the 4.2 Bluetooth on the JBL. So this one is hard, and whenever it comes to something this close, what I would normally do is give it to the new guy in this instance, not because they're copying the same thing as the older one, but because normally what happens is they add a little something, they tweak a little something whenever they do come out with a new one. In this case, it just happens to be on the lanyard. I'll tell you what I am missing though. I am missing the fact that if you look back here behind, you'll see you got the Sony XB23, the XB21 over here and the 22, they all had LED lights. And they went away from that this time around here in the 23. I don't know if that's something that they did where they're going to bring it back in the 24 and tell you, oh, it's all new or something like that. But I'll tell you what, the fact that they take something away is also something that, you know, when it comes to those intangibles, it makes it a lot harder to say, oh, you're the winner of that category for me. In this instance, though, I am still going to give it to Sony. Barely. I'm going to give it to Sony very barely. So right now we have it as a 2-2 tie. And finally is that badassery. That's that category that, yo, that is a badass speaker. And on that note, it's a real simple victory for me. And taking it for the full-on win, it's going to be that JBL. So the flip is actually going to win today because the bass on this bad boy is so much stronger than the bass on the Sony. It's not even close. All right. So the JBL is going to take it in this one. Here is your champion for this battle. You guys go ahead down below in the comments. Let me know what you think. By the way, while you're down there in them comments, you might as well go ahead, give it them thumbs, yo. Give it them thumbs. And hey, always be the hero in your story, not the villain in someone else's. Peace.